Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is April 21st, 2020. Yesterday, we brought the report that was coming out of Israel, breaking news that the two Benjamins in Israel, Benjamin Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu, have signed a coalition unity government deal to work together instead of going to a fourth election. They've already had 3 elections in Israel, and no majority government has been able to be formed. And so instead of going to a fourth election, they have decided to work together. Right now, Israel needs a unified government as they are dealing with the coronavirus epidemic. And at the same time, it's not good for the people of Israel to go through all of these election processes with no decisions being made. So both parties have come to an agreement between the two Benjamins to form a unity government. Together with this deal, with this new unity government that is being formed, the Trump peace plan is set to advance after Israeli leaders strike the governing deal. So I wanted to just remind everybody, Donald Trump signed the Peace to Prosperity deal of the century, was presented on January 28th at the White House with both Benjamins. It was not enacted immediately based on the fact that Israel did not have a standing government to act on the peace deal. But as soon as they have come together now to form a unity government, now the Trump peace plan is set to advance after Israeli leaders strike governing deal. A newly formed Israeli government is laying the groundwork to enact the first steps of President Trump's Middle East peace deal, announcing plans to discuss annexing parts of the West Bank by the summer. Beginning July 1st, Netanyahu, as the presiding prime minister, will be allowed to bring the issue of extending sovereignty to territories identified in the Trump peace plan, named Peace to Prosperity, for a discussion among the Security Cabinet and a vote in the Knesset, Israel's parliament. So I wanted to bring everybody's attention to the peace deal of the century that was brought forth and presented on January 28th. While at the same time, the peace plan was not enacted immediately because they did not have a standing government in Israel. But the first piece of news that goes together with the new coalition government in Israel is the fact that the Trump peace plan, Peace to Prosperity, is now going to be put into action. And this in and of itself may be the trigger that goes together with the KADURI prophecy that after the coalition government is formed, after the gridlock of having elections and no government in Israel is resolved between two Benjamins, that the Messiah will come on the next Sabbath. So now we have the Trump peace plan that is going to be enacted. And this, in and of itself, the sudden destruction that will come with the peace and safety announcement, may be the connection also to this coming weekend and the 73rd prophetic birthday of Israel. So I just wanted to tie some dots together here to connect some dots for you guys as far as why the forming of the coalition government is so important on God's in God's eyes, especially concerning the Trump peace plan that does divide Jerusalem giving half of Jerusalem as the capital of the Palestinian state. It's a two-state solution, which will now be enacted based on this new government being formed. So if you have not seen this report that I shared yesterday, connecting the KADURI prophecy of the Messiah coming on the Sabbath following the election process, or the non-government process in Israel being resolved, then this will help you understand what this is all talking about. And at the same time, if you do not know that on January 28th, the peace plan of the century was presented at the White House, and as I've shared in previous videos, that from January 28th to March 20th, the world went into complete and total lockdown because a peace plan to divide Jerusalem was presented to the world, not only at the White House, but also at the United Nations Security Council on February 11th. So there's so many things connected to Israel. It's not just that they have a government that they haven't had in a year and a half. There are things that are going to be enacted and acted upon and moved forward, the advancement of the Trump peace plan, now that they have formed their government. So I just wanted to put this these pieces of information together for you, for your study and for your understanding. And as I said, if you haven't seen the report shared yesterday, KADURI prophecy is fulfilled. Is this a sign that the Messiah is coming this Sabbath weekend, which is the 73rd prophetic birthday of Israel? I pray you're blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.